If you're trying to break into the property market, but you just haven't saved enough for a deposit yet, but you still can service that loan, then a guarantor loan is by far the number one way to break into the property market faster. So how do they work? Well, essentially, a close family member, it could be a parent, a sibling, a grandparent, will pledge a portion of the equity in their property towards your loan. Now, your loan is usually 20%, will be secured against the equity in their property. Therefore, the banks don't require any cash deposit. Now, this is a great visual representation of how guarantor loans work. So if you visualize that as an entire loan, 80% of the loan is secured against the property that you've just bought, and the other 20% is secured against your guarantor's property. Now, down below me are some common misconceptions I hear about guarantor loans. Now, there are no repayments required by the guarantors. They are considered security guarantors and not servicing guarantors. The only thing that the banks care about is that there is enough equity in their property. They don't care if they're working. They don't care what debts they have. None of that matters. If there's enough equity for them to pledge towards your loan, that's all the banks care about. Now, the second one is ownership. People think that guarantors actually have an ownership in the property, and that is also not true. What the guarantors are doing is pledging part of the equity and securing a small portion of your loan so you don't have to put a deposit down. And lastly, people think guarantors will remain on the loan forever. That is also not true. You can release the guarantors from your loan once your LVR reaches 80%. So if you've got enough borrowing capacity to service the loan, but you just haven't got enough of a deposit yet, then definitely consider a guarantor loan. Now, if you want to know anything more about a guarantor loan or want to see if it works for your situation, then you can book a call using the link in my bio.